Top 10 Things You Didn't Know About Cape Verde. Welcome to Explore and thanks for watching. As you all know, it's always a pleasure presenting to you interesting facts about the beautiful countries in Africa. In today's video, we are taking you to one of the most beautiful islands in Africa, Cape Verde, and we are presenting to you some lesser known facts about this beautiful island country. Cape Verde, officially the Republic of Cabo Verde, is an island country spanning an archipelago of 10 volcanic islands in the Central Atlantic Ocean. It forms part of the Micronesia ecoregion, along with the Azores, Canary Islands, Madeira, and the Savage Isles. Located 570 kilometers west of the Cape Verde Peninsula off the coast of northwest Africa, the islands cover a combined area of 4,033 kilometers square. The Cape Verde archipelago was uninhabited until the 15th century when Portuguese explorers discovered and colonized the islands, establishing the first European settlement in the tropics. Ideally located for the Atlantic slave trade, the islands grew prosperous throughout the 16th and 17th centuries, attracting merchants, privateers, and pirates. The end of the transatlantic slavery in the 19th century led to economic decline and immigration. Cape Verde gradually recovered as an important commercial center and stopover for shipping routes. Incorporated as an overseas department of Portugal in 1951, the islands continued to campaign for independence, which was achieved in 1975. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Cape Verde has grown into a great nation, grossing in an annual GDP of $2.042 billion and with a GDP per capita of $3,651. They left their colonial days behind to become one of the best democracies in Africa, currently led by President Jorge Carlos Fonseca. Cape Verde is known for its beauty, football, and economy, but here are the top 10 things you probably didn't know about Cape Verde. Number 1. Island Santa Luzia is uninhabited. The island of Santa Luzia is uninhabited, which means you can only visit from Callao. Located on the east coast of São Vicente Island, you can rent a fishing boat for the day and make your way across this 2-hour crossing. This island is celebrated for its beautiful white beaches and high sand dunes. Santa Luzia is the group's smallest island and also uninhabited for almost all of the past 2 centuries. Today, it's a nature reserve and home to a lizard found only here, which makes tourists, explorers, and geographers fascinated by the island. Number 2. Cape Verde has pledged to run on 100% renewable energy by 2020. Cape Verde had pledged to supply the nation's entire power needs through renewable energy by this year, 2020. Currently, the nation's 500,000 populace have to import all their fossil fuels since Cape Verde has no mineral deposits and very little arable farmland. But it does get a lot of wind and sun. The government wants to capitalize on these natural resources. It hopes that the country will eventually no longer have to depend on imports for power. To this end, it has set up Project Cabiolicato to deliver wind power across all populated islands. Currently, 30 wind turbines located on 4 islands supply about 25% of the electricity needed. This figure can peak at 35% of demand supplied. The aim is to stop using fossil fuels altogether, which will cut down carbon emissions as well as create jobs. 20% of Cape Verde nationals live in poverty, so the drive towards total renewable energy will help the national economy too. Number 3. Santiago is home to a 500-year-old church. Cape Verde has the oldest colonial church in the tropics, which is situated in Ciudad de Vela on Santiago Island. The 500-year-old ruins contain over 1,000 bodies, most of them slaves buried underneath it since it was a hub of the African slave trade for almost 300 years. Through this dubious trade, it became the second richest city in the Portuguese Empire. The church, called Nossa Senhora da Conceição, is one of about 24 churches and chapels in Ciudad de Vela. Before the Portuguese colonized it in the late 15th century, Cape Verde comprised of simply 10 barren islands of volcanic rock before the colonists brought civilization to Cape Verde and built the church on the bend of a river. Perhaps not surprisingly, in time, it was destroyed by flooding. Archaeologists from the University of Cambridge started excavating the ruins in 2014 and uncovered stone foundations from a Gothic chapel dating back to 1470, making it the oldest colonial construction in Cape Verde. Within the church's footprint, there is a further larger construction which dates around 1500, indicating that the slaves would have likely been converted to Christianity before they died. Number 4. more Cape Verdeans live abroad than on the islands. According to 2015 estimates from the CIA, the population of Cape Verde is approximately 525,000, but due to immigration, more Cape Verdeans live abroad than at home. In the USA alone, there are more than 350,000 immigrants living predominantly on the East Coast. Massachusetts and Rhode Island have the highest concentration of Cape Verdean immigrants in all of America. Cape Verdeans have also immigrated to other countries such as Italy, Netherlands, Senegal, Portugal, Brazil, Luxembourg, Argentina, and several other countries in Africa. In the UK, Cape Verdeans can be found in London, Liverpool, Hull, Cardiff, and Newcastle. To date, the number of Cape Verdean immigrants living abroad is unknown, but is substantially greater than the estimated population living at home. Number 5. The Pedra de Lume salt mines in Sal provide salt locally. On the eastern coast of the island of Sal, near the village of Pedra de Lume, lies the island salt mines. Set in a beautiful landscape, the volcanic crater which supplies salt mines is filled with water 26 times saltier than seawater. For a small fee, tourists are allowed to float on its surface. The salt mines in Pedra de Lume originated in the 18th century. Salt was exported to countries that included Brazil and France, but production was stopped in 1999. The base of the crater is the lowest point in Cape Verde, lower than sea level. Water infiltrates the basin and over 3 months slowly evaporates, leaving the salt deposits. Today, these salt pans provide salt only for the local economy. Number 6. The real first president of Cape Verde. Many Cape Verdeans look up to Amilcar Cabral as the first president of Cape Verde. Amilcar Cabral was no doubt one of the most profound heroes of the country, but he was not an actual citizen of Cape Verde, as he grew up in Guinea-Bissau, though he was born to Cape Verdean parents. Amilcar Cabral lived a significant portion of his life in Cape Verde and attended preliminary schools in Mindelo, São Vicente, prior to departing to Portugal to study agronomy. His love for Cape Verde and neighboring colonies prompted him to initiate movements against Portuguese colonization. Amilcar Cabral was the founder and leader of the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, which led movements against Portuguese colonization and paved the way for independence for both Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde. Unfortunately, however, Cabral was assassinated in 1973 before he could see his dream come true, but his efforts towards the liberation of Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau has been recognized as one of the most successful wars of independence in modern African history. His efforts eventually resulted in Cape Verde's independence from Portugal on July 5, 1975. Amilcar Cabral's legacy continued long after his death, as his ruling political party continued to govern the newly independent country of Cape Verde. Aristides Pereira was a member of this party and officially became the first and non-elected president of the country. Number 7. At one point in history, Cape Verde was home to the largest port in all of the Atlantic. Porto Grande, Cape Verde, had the biggest harbor port in all of the Atlantic, which is named Porto Grande. Due to Cape Verde's geographical position and close proximity to the motherland, it provided a much-needed advantage as it was positioned to facilitate trade routes between Europe, Brazil, North America, and the west coast of Africa. Its position as a main trading port in the Atlantic Ocean helped to increase the population of São Vicente and Cape Verde as a whole. The British and Portuguese played a major role in the expansion of the port. Porto Grande is still active and currently owned by 2 companies, Amas from the Canary Islands and Enapor, which is based in Cape Verde. Number 8. A cosmic music scene developed in Cape Verde thanks to a maroon ship. Electronic music underpins Cape Verde's musical culture today, and it's all because of an abandoned cargo ship. On 20th March 1968, a ship carrying a cargo of the latest synthesizers and keyboards left Baltimore. It was en route to Rio de Janeiro, and the cargo was intended to be displayed at a large exhibition to showcase the latest brands. Mysteriously, the ship disappeared the very same day it departed. A few months later, it was found abandoned on the island of São Nicolau. The crew was gone, but a cargo of brand new boxed keyboards and synthesizers, all from leading names, remained on board. Cape Verde at that time was still under Portuguese colonial rule, even though Amilcar Cabral, the leader of the nationalist movement, had plenty of influence. He arranged for the electronic equipment to be distributed among the island schools. The result was an explosion of electronic sounds in the 1970s and 1980s. Synthesizers were used to modernize the native rhythms of Mona, Coladeira, and Funana folk dances. Before independence in 1975, this music was banned in Cape Verde. Liberation and electronic synthesizers really shook up the music scene, contributing to a new cosmic sound. Number 9. Cape Verde is a windsurfing hotspot. Cape Verde might always have been treated to strong winds, but it's only recently seen a surge in windsurfers flocking the sands with boards in hand. Nowadays, it's even home to windsurfing and kitesurfing competitions that see competitors come from all over the world. November to May are when the wind conditions are at their best, but Cape Verde's tendency towards year-round, scorching heat temperatures mean there's really no bad time to hit the beaches. This also explains the recent flux of tourists to the islands who come to enjoy the fast and colorful beach activities, which are not offered anywhere else like in Cape Verde. Number 10. It is illegal to bring Cape Verdean currency on or off the islands. The official currency of Cape Verde is the Cape Verde escudo, which operates on a fixed exchange rate with the euro. You cannot exchange it outside of the country, so it is technically against the law to take it off the islands. Inside the international airports and within city centers are banks that will exchange your pounds into Cape Verde escudo. There you have it, explorers. Those were the top 10 things you didn't know about Cape Verde. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, leave a suggestion in the comments and we will do well to grant your request. Also, if you did enjoy this video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.